Hey, it's time for Financial Focus with our analyst Steve Budin. It's Monday. We got a lot to talk about.
Yes.
Always good news when the retail sales are up. But you were telling me off camera, interesting little fun fact of where the sales are up, and it's something that we kind of thought was dying.
I know retail sales is one of your favorite categories. I always try to bring it up. Over the weekend, government announced retail sales have actually gone up over the last year over year.
Okay.
Interestingly enough, like you said, retail increased in a bigger percentage in malls.
Oh.
So people actually are not leaving the mall. I think what you've seen over the last couple of years is an adjustment. I know one of the reporters I was talking to in the newsroom said she still loves to go to the mall. I prefer to shop online. I know you love to go to the mall. So it's providing more opportunities, and I think the malls are actually doing a really good job in keeping people and bringing people back in with other activities like movie theaters and gyms and other things that you could experience in addition to shopping.
Right. Yeah, I feel like I kind of do a little bit of a mix, that's for sure. I like both. But I think for some folks, probably in cold climates, they probably go to the mall more because it's kind of a full day event, right?
No, and a lot of people still have to socialize, so you know, where do you go? You meet at the mall.
Right,
so
you hang out.
I don't think you'll see them all go down, but I think the marginal ones will suffer, but I think the high-end malls that give you that great experience will survive and do just fine.
All right, let's talk small businesses. Now, you were saying there are, optimism's up, so that's creating jobs, or they're the ones who actually have a lot of job openings?
Yeah, I mentioned this a lot, the Small Business Optimism Index, and it's not scientific, and it does vary from month to month, but the numbers coming out are basically saying that the average small business owner is pretty optimistic about their prospects over the next 12 months. If you're a business owner and you're pretty optimistic, you're more likely than not to hire somebody. Most of the jobs in this country are created by small business, about 70% of them. So when you see small business owners optimistic, that bodes well for the employment numbers as long as that follows through. Small businesses tend to be a little bit fickle in how they feel about things as opposed to larger companies, but this is a really good indicator as to where job hirings can be in the next 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, I know it's always hard to start. People really have to put some thought into if they're going to start a small business or not, because it's hard to keep it open sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about these tariffs in China and how they're going to affect us and gaming and all that kind of thing. But you were saying it kind of links up to Macau, right?
Yeah, it does. The latest salvo in the fight between the president and China is they're proposing $200 billion of more tariffs, which are basically taxes on imported goods. So whether it's vehicles, clothing, electronics, anything that's made in China that's coming to the United States potentially can face some higher taxes, with the hope that the Chinese will help renegotiate some of these trade deals that we have. In fact, I just read before we went on that the iPhone is actually exempt from any proposed tariffs.
Oh.
But it just goes to show that you don't want to have these piecemeal policies put into place. You'd like to have some more strategic plans, but the Chinese, this is a really dangerous game of chicken the two countries are playing, because as the prices go up, it doesn't help anybody. You have less people buying things, and that's not good for either economy.
Right, that's for sure. All right, some good topics. Interesting, Steve Budin called me today, and I didn't pick up because I thought you were a robocall.
Yeah, thanks
so I was
a lot.
actually taking your own advice.
That's right.
Because you called me from a phone number I didn't recognize.
And I have been testing some apps on the robocall, so I will report back after a couple of weeks. I found a couple that really work well.
Yeah, and some people have been saying it's really becoming a problem.
Yeah.
So we'll touch that soon.
Sure.
All right, thanks so much, Steve, and we'll be back after this.